What's up, you guys? He told me to turn on the camera, so I'm doing it.
This is the only time I've ever done this, and the only reason I'm doing it is because I took medication and I know it will kick in about 45 minutes. But if I were to film this without knowing that there was some relief coming, I wouldn't be able to do it. I'm going through a stage of depersonalization disorder. I'm going through an episode right now. And I noticed because I went upstairs, I was standing in the bathroom with the light on, and I looked at my hand, just like I was saying in that vlog. I looked at my hand, and it didn't look like mine. It looked like, looked like I was watching a movie of my body. And that's what I'm going through right now. I can't look at the light because the light triggers something in here. But right now I keep going in and out of this feeling of feeling like my heart's not beating to feeling like it's beating too fast. Like it's beating too fast, and I'm like, why is my heart beating so fast? And then I'm like, why can't I feel my heart beating? So then, I know it sounds like a panic attack, which, but the senses of it is what makes it not a panic attack. Because a panic attack, it's just constant heart beating fast. But it's like going in and out of one thing to another. Like I can't feel my heart beating, but at the same time, I feel it beating really hard. Like my mind keeps sensing it differently. Like I'm like, my blood pressure's too low. That's what I feel like. But it's not.
No.
It's not too low because my heart is actually racing. But it feels like it's not. It feels like just nothingness in my chest. And I don't know.
So what would you tell people who are going through this?
I would say at this moment, my first instinct right now would be to jump, move, pace, do something to make myself feel like my heart's beating. That would be my first impulse right now, but I'm trying to fight it. I'm trying to.
Why fight it?
Why fight it?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to film it. If I
Well, we can always turn it off.
It comes in jolts.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I feel, it gets really bad at one point to where it feels like I'm about to pass out, and then I just, I'll jump like that, which is just doing that is like triggering something right here.
I don't know if I want to be recording.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna try not to make this so serious.
I mean, you're trying to reach the people who have it, right?
I want somebody that if you have it, you can see it, and if you have what you're seeing, then you know you have it. I know there's distance between my hands right now.
Mm-hmm.
But they look like they're touching. I know it's because I'm looking from above, but anybody with normal depth perception could see that this is quite a distance under this one. And that's the kind of problem I'm having right now. Like I was over the sink getting ready to wash my hands. My hands looked like they were 10 feet away. I don't know how to describe it. Does that describe it well enough? I don't know.
I just know that everybody that we have seen that talk about it, they say the same thing.
Things are very distorted right now. Like when I put my arm out like this, it looks like I'm almost touching the wall. It really does. It looks like I could, touch it. But I'm sure, because I know this room so well, and here's the computer screen, I know I'm not even close to touching that wall. to say. I mean, that's why you have to engage with me like we normally do when I'm going through this. That way people can see. Like,
Where's the humor in this?
humor?
Yeah.
Are you telling me to make
No,
light of this?
I'm just asking you, like, because people have said to look at it in a humorous way, and I don't know what they mean by that.
I'm trying not to be a hypocrite in the words that I've said in my depersonalization disorder video, but you know, I mean, I don't feel like I could think of anything that would be entertaining to me right now. Nothing that would distract me from it. I even said that, like we're watching stuff and my mind's not in it. I can look at it, but I don't hear a single word they're saying, even though I'm really interested in it. And things are changing around me. Like I was upstairs, now I'm down here, and my mind's like, how did that happen? Like, I know I was up there washing my hands. I know I was seeing my hands further away than they looked further away than they should. I'm down here. Like things around me are oblivious. I'm internalizing everything, but feeling like I'm outside of my body at the same time.
Crazy, right?
It's so complicated that nobody can describe it. I cannot describe what I'm feeling right now. I can't look at that light. Like the light feels like it penetrates back here. Like I can feel it go all the way through my head. Like a pain when I look at a light. For some reason, any bright light when I'm going through an episode.
That's why I asked you if you wanted.
That's why I'm not looking at the camera.
You sure you want to be recorded right now?
I'm almost done. I just want someone. Everybody always explains it. Nobody can ever feel it, though. I mean, I'm really just explaining it while I'm going through it, which is the only difference. So
Nobody else has done that we've seen so far.
Nobody tries to explain it
While they're going through it.
when it's happening.
Yeah. None that we've seen anyways. I don't know if there are videos that exist like that.
I have to be on the floor. Like, that's the first thing I do, is I get on the floor. Because of the whole thing. Like, I feel like I'm taller, and I feel like I feel so lightheaded. If I fall, I know I'm gonna fall. But I'm not going to. Like, I'm fine, I can stand. But just in case, it gives me that security to be on the floor.
So.
Because I have seizures also. So the mixture of that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've had seizures and I've, fallen a lot and hurt myself a lot. So my first instinct is get to the ground. So it helps you, whatever your security blanket may be, that's what I call it.
Yeah.
Go straight for that. And then start working on your coping skills. Go straight for it. My comfort zone is on the floor where I know if I fall or something, I'm not far from the floor. And when I hit, it ain't going to hurt me that bad.
And this just happens to be your coping skill.
Well, it's one.
The camera.
This isn't, I'm not considering this a vlog. I'm considering this an educational video as of right now, because I can't have my normal humor and the whole stuff like that and smack my hands together and stuff. It's been fun all day. I had one little trigger in my mind earlier. Aubrey knows about it, and just boom. And that's all it takes. All it takes for me is one word, one little word, one little thought. For like a half of a second is all it takes to send me into this. I mean, it's not that I have to sit there and think of a memory. One word. Just boom.
And my part is to act as normal as possible.
And see,
And that helps them.
During the moment, I don't feel like she understands like the misery that I'm going through.
And I don't.
And it feels like she's not helping me. But when it's over with, I'm like, wow, it would have been a lot worse without you.
Aw, I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. I mean, with me, I go to everything comforting. Like, my thing is, I rub the back of my neck.
Yeah.
And I rub my legs and I get close to the floor. I mean, I got all kinds of nervous habits because I have panic disorder too. Now, some people, panic disorder sets it off, but it causes me to have panic attacks, not the panic attack causes that. It's
right.
Reversed. That's why everybody's always say, it's just anxiety, it's just anxiety. You're just wrong, the anxiety is because of it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can see how frustrating. I mean, I'm not showing how miserable I am. I can't do that on camera. I can't just show misery on camera. I can't do it. Like, I can tell you what I'm feeling. And I can... That is so weird. See, I've been through this so many times, and it's still just as disturbing to me as it was the first time it happened. I know that's what's happening. I know exactly what's going on, but it's still just as disturbing to me as it was the first time I ever felt it. I don't know how people always say, oh, you can get over it really fast, just do this, just do that. I'm thinking, who hasn't tried that like a million times? Anybody who has this has tried everything. They've tried everything that could possibly ever help at all. Nothing works. All you can do is, medications to help with anxiety. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much your only option. Therapy, but I know more than the therapist. No, I go.
Yeah, that's true.
I go to the therapist. I'm like, well, maybe this time it'll help. And I go there, and I end up like correcting them on stuff. They'll be giving me advice, and I'll be like, aren't you supposed to do that instead? They're like, well, you seem to know what you're talking about. Yeah, I do. How about I sit in that chair and you sit in my place? It's...
Yeah.
I feel helpless. It's just a complete helplessness. It's not as bad as it usually is, which is why I'm willing to put this on blog. I mean, if it was really bad...
I would not have even been pushing play.
I would, because I would be running around, almost in tears. That's how miserable it is. Like, it's depressing. It's just so depressing that it never goes away.
I think you do very, very well.
It never goes away though.
I
have PTSD also, which these people that have it, they have anxiety. They might have some little traumatic thing that happened to them. I'm not saying, oh, I'm worse than everybody else. I'm saying I've had several things happen to me that disturbed me very badly. And, traumatized mentally and physically and emotionally. And things that I just cannot get over no matter how much therapy I go through. I mean, years and years and years and years, I just can't get over it. I can't get past my traumas, so I keep going through this cycle. Trigger after trigger after trigger. Stuff will trigger me that I don't even know why it triggered me. Patterns, textures. And I don't even understand why. Like, I'll see a pattern and I'll have so much anxiety that I have to destroy it. Like, if it's a piece of paper with something on it, I have to crumple it up and I have to make sure it gets thrown away. I mean, it bothers me so bad. Like, the things that set you off make no sense. Nothing makes any sense about depersonalization disorder. You're not going to figure it out. You're not going to figure it out. You eventually will learn how to deal with it. How to cope with it. But for me personally, having a really bad head injury more than once. I had that thing where I had 14 stitches in my head and car accident where my head hit 2 telephone poles at 75 miles per hour. I've had my lung collapse. All this stuff that's just...
1 kidney.
Yeah. I mean, just... everything. Like, I should have been dead like 10 times, but somehow I still live. Like, I don't get it. I've stopped breathing. I've had to have a ventilator breathe for me. I mean, I've just had so many things. And I guess that explains why it never goes away. I guess that explains why people's advice don't work for me. Which is why I try to give advice to people, because, you know, I mean, there's certain cases like mine where it's extreme. You know, it's not just DPDR, it's extreme. And I want to reach out to those people that have the extreme, severe kind, that the traumatized kind, you know, the kind where you can't get over it. Like, if you were to go to each trauma and face each fear, you know, and deal with it, it takes a long time to get over one trauma. You know, I mean, look at these war vets. They never get over their traumas. Never.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I know it sounds, I mean, they're just traumatized by a different thing. You know, I mean, you don't have to go to war to be that traumatized, you know. Just remember, if you're severely traumatized like me and you have this problem, you're not schizophrenic. I've been told I'm schizophrenic so many times because it never goes away. So you're automatically schizophrenic. And, but if you have a really severe, extreme case that you just cannot control, I mean, but you can find little ways to cope whenever it's not as bad, please talk to me. You know, I mean, I'll probably have advice for you. You probably have advice for me. We can figure this out, you know, because we can't live life like this. You know, we can't just suffer all of our life. You know, that's not a way to live. Most people get suicidal over this kind of stuff. I don't. I try to find a reason. You know, people are like, I have no reason to live. I'm like counting the reasons, and, you know, looking at future reasons to live. I mean, that's all you can do is have hope, and, you know, hope for the best. Hope they're doing the right research. I'm sure scientists are looking into it, studies and stuff. I don't know, but there's nothing yet. I'm going through this right now. Talking about it helps me to get past it. So I just randomly told her, turn it on.
Yeah.
Because this is the only time I'm going to be able to talk about it. This is the only time you're going to see me talking about it as I'm going through it. I don't... Like, I feel like I have to smack something really hard just to make sure I can feel it. But I control myself from doing that. You know, don't do that. Don't hurt yourself just to make sure you can feel. You can feel. It just doesn't feel right. I've tried even doing that. I smacked the floor one time. It still hurt. It just didn't feel right. You know, it didn't feel as painful. So when you come out of it, you're really going to be hurting. So don't.
Yeah.
So don't try to hurt yourself to feel something. I mean, I've done that and it's not worth it. I just wanted to acknowledge this. I mean, it just randomly happens and I have to deal with it somehow. The only thing I have is medication. I mean, I have no other way to deal with it except, you know, try to laugh, try to have fun, which is what we do.
Goober clunkers.
Luckily, if it wasn't for, you know, there is one medication besides the anxiety medication that does help a little bit, but it's also bad for you in many other ways. I don't want to get into the names of the drugs and stuff. But don't ever let anybody say you're schizophrenic unless they see something wrong with your brain. Because schizophrenia is a physical problem with your brain. Depersonalization disorder is a mental disorder. It's a chemical imbalance. So just keep that in mind. See a good psychiatrist, one that, you know, mine is expensive, like $130 a visit, but it's worth it. because I'm finally getting answers and I'm getting the medications that I need for it.
And somebody who actually tries to understand.
She cares, and she remembers everything. I won't go there for 2 months, and she'll remember the last thing I said. That's the kind of psychiatrist you need. Somebody who cares enough that they're researching about you off the clock. They're trying to find answers for you off the clock. That's the kind. Find you a good psychiatrist. That's my advice. A good psychiatrist. Talk therapy. That might help for you. It doesn't help for me. There are a couple, medications that kinda help, and very, very slightly. But I don't want to have to be on anxiety medication for the rest of my life. There's got to be something in the future. There's got to be studies being done. I know I sound like I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry, but I'm going to end it because I don't want to keep going on. I'm going to start feeling better in a minute. And what's the point of that? I already described everything.
You already look calmer.
I am.
Good. Talking about it helps them so much.
Yeah. Talking about it. I don't want the anti-anxiety medicine, but it's like it's a necessity at this point.
Or it'll be panic attack.
Yeah, or I'll just have
and then
panic attacks all the time. Yeah, straight to the hospital. Heart attack, collapsed lung, heart failure, anything you can possibly think of, aneurysm. I've been to the hospital for so many things over panic attacks. Okay, guys, you haven't seen me going through a severe one, but this is one that I'm going through that I'm able to talk to you while I'm going through it. Which I never really see people doing that. I haven't seen anybody yet. I've seen people talking about it, but here's one for you where I'm actually going through it slightly. So I'll still swipe even though my hand will look way far away. So we'll see you guys later.